Hi, I just wanted to give an update to my video Trigeminal Neuralgia, and I had Gamma Knife in 2010, and I'm doing really well. I've had a little bit of a stressful day, so I look a little unkempt. I just got home from work. And let me see, after my video, but before Gamma Knife, my pain, which was mostly located here on my right side, moved up to my eye, and I started getting stabbing in my eye, and some days, every time I blinked on my right eye, I would get a stab, and it felt exactly like a long butcher knife going all the way into my eye, and it was real quick and sharp, and but it came with every blink. That lasted for a good week. I would work and hold my eye open as I worked so I wouldn't blink. And every so often, of course, only working with one hand, I had to let go to do something, and of course the pain was excruciating. Let's see, after Gamma Knife, before Gamma Knife, I was more concerned about the pin sites, where they had to screw the frame onto my head. After Gamma Knife, however, that very night, I had my first bout of the geniculate pain, which I had not had up until then, which is a stabbing in the ears. So, not knowing why, just that it was a new pain. And of course my TN pain was worse, way worse. My TN pain went from what I thought was a 10 to, if it was on a scale, would be like a 90. That much of a vast difference. I had one solid single pain that night that lasted an entire hour in its intensity. If you could imagine a labor pain in the highest intensity that it gets, lasting a solid hour with no relief. And then it went away for about 40 seconds and came right back and lasted another 45 minutes. This was one pain, not a quick stab, not just a series of stabs, not a pulsating pattern, nothing, just one solid, searing, ripping pain the entire time. It was hell. It was hell. That's the only way I can describe it. It was the worst thing I had ever felt. I should have went to the emergency room. I should have called the neurosurgeon. I did not. I felt like it must be normal, so I just endured it. It got a little better than that, but it was still a higher intensity than what I was used to. And then that lasted a good 2 weeks. And then over the course of the month, it got a little bit easier. But it took me 6 months to be pain-free from my TN because of the Gamma Knife. And once that went away, it was awesome. And then 6 months after that, I started getting some sensitivity in the back of my head. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together. All I knew is that it kind of hurt to lay on a pillow and up against a cushion in a chair or whatever. It was more irritating at first than anything. And then as time wore on, I was still TN pain-free, but I still had this irritating pressure in the back of my head. So I looked it up. I Googled it, just like I did my TN pain before I was diagnosed, and it said occipital neuralgia. The occipital nerve runs back here behind your ear on the back side of your head, and I knew that I was getting a little bit more headaches, you know, and that pain when I would lay down either on that side, or if I lay on this side even, to a degree, it puts pressure on my head. And even when someone hugs me kind of tight, it puts pressure into that area of my head, and that is a new thing. So I was TN pain-free for 3.5 years thanks to a successful Gamma Knife. However, I have decided not to have Gamma Knife again, and my pain has been back for over a year now. But it's still okay. I'm able to talk and eat and laugh and smile most of the time without pain. Every so often I have pain while eating. There's some sensitivity, and also my pain is now bilateral. So it started off bottom right, worked its way up here. Gamma Knife, ear pain, occipital pain. Now that it's back, both sides occipital, both sides geniculate, both sides, all 3 branches trigeminal. So basically my whole head has nerve pain now. And it's still okay right now, but it does have its intense days where I get, you know, more intense pains than other days. And of course, I keep a headache almost daily, and every day when I wake up, it feels like I've been clubbed with a baseball bat on the back side of my head. That's every day without fail. I wake up feeling like that. But I'm still doing well. And I have a lot of neck pain due to the occipital neuralgia. But other than that, I'm alive and I'm healthy. And I'm off all my medication except for my new neurologist switched me to Trileptal. And so I'm not taking Tegretol, Neurontin, and Lyrica. I was on 9 pills a day. And basically I was a zombie. I could never watch an entire movie. I would see the beginning, sleep through the middle, and wake up at the end and still not be able to keep myself awake. I couldn't carry on a conversation because I would fall asleep. I would fall asleep in church, and I went to a loud church, and I would fall asleep while people were talking to me. And driving was a little bit of a problem, and I don't know. I'm doing well. There's people who are using my video for a nursing school in Indiana, which I am flabbergasted by. I'm amazed. I'm flattered, and I'm very proud of the fact that I can be a voice for TN, a face for TN. You know, we need awareness. And when I made that video, we had no support groups. We had no network of hearing each other. I felt so alone. I felt like I was the only person on the earth that was dealing with that. And even though my family saw what I was going through, they didn't know what it felt like. They didn't understand it. And I've been a member of I don't know how many support groups now on Facebook, and occasionally someone will find me on Instagram or Twitter, and they'll be like, I live in Australia and I've just been diagnosed, help me. Or they'll have a particularly bad week or bad month or bad stretch of months, and they will be at their rope's end basically. And I feel like